Do you know that you possess a unique organ within known as the vagus nerve? In this brief and insightful video, I am going to let you in on how this mysterious nerve can pivot your life towards an unexpected path of prosperity. The moment you understand the sacred powers of this nerve, you'll possess the secret to channel an endless torrent of wealth into your life. The truth is, you're born with the inherent capacity to attract abundance, and the spark to light up this capacity lies within your vagus nerve. So, in this video, let me introduce you to the teachings of the ancient Navanaths, one of India's earliest spiritual masters. They've guarded this knowledge for eons, only to be shared now. Modern science now backs up what these wise sages have known for centuries. Once you spark your vagus nerve, your consciousness expands, allowing wealth to flow freely and automatically. Interestingly, this happens so naturally that it even works while you're asleep. What's more, this method is effective for anyone, regardless of their current life situation. Indeed, this secret has already transformed the lives of countless people, empowering them with a life of liberty, wealth, and abundance. Don't mistake this for the law of attraction, repeating mundane affirmations, or morning journals. Rather, it is as simple as flipping a switch and dozing off. It might seem too simple to be true, but as you learn about the ancient Navanaths and their effortless manifestation of wealth, coupled with the scientific breakthroughs that explains their techniques, you'll grasp the genuine mechanism behind attracting wealth. Allow me a brief moment to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Matt Johnson. I am not a guru, nor am I a genius. I'm just an average guy who found an incredible secret when life was at its toughest, all by a stroke of luck. At that point, my life felt like a never-ending pit. I was sinking, and no matter how much I tried, things just got worse. I drove trucks for Walmart, always on the road, always away. I worked long hours just to scrape by. Every time I made it home, it was to find my wife and 2 daughters already asleep. Despite all the work, our money never seemed to last. It was a constant battle to pay the bills. My wife and I were always arguing about money. As the years went by, I couldn't help but notice how some of my old high school buddies seemed to be thriving in their careers, living in beautiful homes and going on dream vacations with their trophy wives. Meanwhile, I was barely scraping by, working my tail off and always falling short. Maybe you can relate to the frustration of working long hours, but feeling like your money slips through your fingers, leaving you with a pile of bills. The stress from all this started affecting my mental health. I felt trapped in a dead-end job, and it was straining my family life. If this sounds familiar, just know that you're not alone. Slowly, I became more and more disconnected from my loved ones, feeling like an outsider during family gatherings. But then came the moment that shook me to the core. One day, I got a terrifying call. My wife had collapsed at her night shift. It was a wake-up call, a stark reminder of how fragile life can be. She ended up in the hospital, and I was miles away. I'll never forget the panic of that drive, the fear across my face when I saw her lying there in the hospital bed. The doctors said she had a minor heart attack, but it could have been a lot worse. Likely due to the stress, she was underworking 2 jobs. When she recovered, she dropped a bombshell. She wanted to separate and take the kids with her. It was a gut punch. I knew I failed as a father, but this time, it was no longer in my head. I didn't argue because I knew she was right. They moved in at her sister's. I was down and out. I couldn't focus at work and eventually lost my job. Even though those were the worst days of my life, it led me to the incredible secret I'm about to share with you. It was precisely when I was most vulnerable that weird occurrences started to happen that led me to travel across the globe. I was desperate to salvage my relationship and become the man my family needed me to be. The man I had once vowed I would be to my wife and my daughters. Around that period, a string of coincidences started to unfold. Reflecting on it now, I recognize that it was the subtle guidance of the cosmos that had been directing my path. The same tender celestial guidance that led you to this video today. One late night, while aimlessly scrolling through Facebook, I stumbled upon a post. It featured the majestic Taj Mahal as the backdrop for an inspirational quote. I can't recall the exact words, but something inside me felt a strong urge to go to India. I had always been fascinated by India, its rich history, and its spiritual practices. When I was young, visiting India had been a dream of mine. But life, work, and raising a family always came first. Now, in the midst of my struggles, it seemed like the perfect time to finally make that long-awaited trip. It felt like a calling, a chance to seek any answers to the pain and confusion I was experiencing. With whatever money I could scrounge together, I bought a round-trip ticket to India, hoping that this journey would bring me the clarity and resolution I desperately sought. I had nothing going for me, and being home alone, surrounded by things that reminded me of the family I lost, was not a good feeling. I knew I needed an escape. So off to India I went. As soon as I landed in India, I was embraced by a riot of colors, bustling markets, and an intoxicating amalgamation of spices hanging in the air. This was a new world, vibrant and teeming with life. For the first few days, I wandered around aimlessly, soaking up the rich culture and trying to find my footing. It was not until I decided to venture outside the city's busy confines that I stumbled upon a spectacle that left me in awe. An ancient temple with intricate designs that seemed to whisper the tales of a bygone era. An old man in a saffron robe, his face lined with wisdom of years, approached me. His warm eyes seemed familiar and inviting, almost as if he had been expecting me. His name was Vijay, and he asked me what had brought me here, to this temple that had been forgotten by time itself. As he showed me around the temple, each corner seemingly more magnificent than the last, he asked me a question about my life that struck a deep chord within me. A wave of emotions swept over me. I felt my eyes welling up. It was as if he had touched a raw nerve, a well of pain and longing that I'd kept buried for years. I started to vent and cry. Seeing my tears, Vijay gently placed a hand on my shoulder and said something that sent chills down my spine. "I have been waiting for you. I was told that someone like you would come." He led me into the inner sanctum of the temple, where he revealed an ancient jade tablet. According to Vijay, it was engraved by the ancient Navanaths, also known as the Nine Masters, many centuries ago, and had been kept hidden ever since. With reverence in his eyes, he explained that the cryptic code etched into the jade tablet unlocks an abundance wave. It's a secret that the Nine Masters had discovered and safeguarded all these years. As he narrated the story, the weight of the secret hit me. I took out my phone to capture the image of the cryptic engravings, but before I could press the shutter, Vijay looked at me solemnly. "You must promise to use this for good." I nodded, taking in his words and the gravity they held. I took the photo, promising myself and Vijay that I would honor this trust bestowed upon me. Over the centuries, the Nine Masters had discovered the profound spiritual power of Kundalini Yoga. They believed that the primal energy called Kundalini, residing at the base of the spine, could be awakened to ascend through the body, activating the 7 chakras along the spine. Chakras, according to ancient spiritual traditions, are energy centers that control various aspects of physical and emotional well-being. The ascending Kundalini energy balances the chakras, which leads to spiritual awakening and higher consciousness. Recent scientific research has begun to validate the existence of chakras. The 7 primary chakras correspond to specific nerve centers along the spine, each of which controls different organs and emotions. Root chakra, associated with the adrenal glands, it represents stability and grounding. Sacral chakra, linked to reproductive organs, it's related to creativity and emotion. Solar plexus chakra, connected to the pancreas, it represents personal power and confidence. Heart chakra, associated with the thymus gland, it governs love and compassion. Throat chakra, linked to the thyroid, it represents communication and expression. Third eye chakra, connected to the pituitary gland, it governs intuition and insight. Crown chakra, associated with the pineal gland, it represents spiritual connection. Scientists are now finding that imbalances in these areas can lead to physical and emotional disturbances. Techniques like acupuncture, meditation, and sound therapy can help balance these energy centers. Neuropsychological studies suggest that Kundalini awakening events might correspond with instances of heightened neural synchrony. When brainwave patterns become more synchronized, they are associated with enhanced awareness and creativity. The ascension of Kundalini energy and the balancing of chakras can lead to a harmonized energy flow, paving the way for positivity and abundance. The vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve, has been a focal point in recent scientific investigations due to its extensive role in bodily functions. It connects the brain to various organs, including the heart, lungs, and digestive tract. It's instrumental in regulating various bodily functions and is often referred to as the relaxation nerve. Interestingly, the vagus nerve's pathway through the body aligns with several critical chakras. It connects to the throat chakra, the heart chakra, and even extends to the solar plexus chakra. The Nine Masters' centuries-old secret was about sparking the vagus nerve through specific sounds and vibrations can increase vagal tone, resulting in a specific relaxed state, being perfectly in tune with the abundance wave of the universe. As the layers of understanding unfolded, the convergence of ancient wisdom and modern science had never seemed clearer. This was one of the secrets the Nine Masters held very closely. And here it was before my eyes. But it wasn't easily deciphered. It was written in cryptic code that looked like gibberish, but I was determined to figure it out. A few days after I came back to the dusty roads of my hometown, I found myself in my living room, staring at the photo of the jade tablet for hours. It was a relic from an ancient era, and it seemed to be encrypted with a numerical-looking code. The problem was, I was a truck driver, not a number theorist or a cryptographer. It was the universe that decided to step in at that point in a most unexpected way. One sunny day, I pulled into a local diner for a quick lunch. A man sat at the counter next to me, engrossed in a game of Sudoku on his worn-out notebook. Now, I wasn't the puzzle type, but seeing him so absorbed piqued my curiosity. I sparked a conversation, confessing I was bad at numbers. He chuckled. "It's not about math, pal. It's about spotting the patterns, seeing the big picture." Feeling somewhat bold, I mentioned the ancient numerical code I was trying to crack. Surprisingly, he offered to have a look. I hesitated, but then thought, what harm could it do? I showed him the picture on my phone. He started jotting down notes, his brow furrowed. I was to head off in a few minutes, so I didn't expect much to come out of this. As I was preparing to leave, the man scribbled down a final sequence of numbers and handed me the paper. "Give this a shot." I looked from the paper to the man, completely taken aback. He shrugged and returned to his Sudoku, seemingly unfazed. "It's just a bit of pattern recognition." As I climbed back into my car, I couldn't help but wonder at the serendipity of it all. This stranger, with his Sudoku and his coffee, had potentially cracked an age-old code. Later, I sent a photo of the paper to a cousin of mine, who happened to be a software engineer. Although surprised by the unique sequence, he agreed to analyze it. When the analysis came back, my heart pounded with anticipation. I was one step closer to uncovering a secret from the past, all thanks to a chance encounter at the diner. Surprisingly, he said the code was listenable. He emailed me the code and an MP3 file I could listen to. He told me the code resembled a certain frequency. Here I was, beaming with excitement. I couldn't wait, so I untangled my headphones and started listening. Every evening, I found solitude and plugged in my headphones, surrendering to this sacred round in my ears. It felt calming and relaxing. I was hopeful. Day after day, for 2 whole weeks, this became my routine. But nothing shifted. On the contrary, my luck seemed to plummet. My old bike was stolen. I got hit with a speeding ticket I couldn't afford. On top of that, I ended up with a stomach bug from some dodgy sushi, had to do an expensive trip to the hospital. It was clear I had not tapped into my Kundalini energy, and no abundance seemed to be flowing my way. Disgusted and fed up, I almost gave up. This supposed sacred frequency seemed like a sham. The teachings of the Nine Masters felt like a far-fetched myth. One evening, while nursing my frustration with some leftover pizza, a mysterious sign emerged. There was a small note beneath the pizza box. The message read, "Patience will soon pay off." It was absurdly coincidental, but could it be about the frequency I was listening to? Should I take this sign seriously, considering my growing skepticism? The new season of the NBA was on, and my favorite basketball team, the Lakers, was calling me. But I had a strange prompting to give the audio one last shot. I thought, Oh well, might as well. As the sound played through my headphones, I somehow drifted off into a deep sleep on my lazy boy. The sun was already high in the sky when I woke. I had a stiff neck from the night before. I was hungry, so I went for lunch. When I was about to pay my bill, the waitress smiled and told me my meal was paid for. Maybe I was mistaken for someone else. This never happened to me before. Strange, I thought. When I got back home, a recruiter called me and offered me a job as head of logistics in another department store chain. It was a 40 pay raise. Could it be? Had I finally tapped into my Kundalini energy? And if so, why now after so many failed attempts? The realization hit me. I'd fallen asleep listening to the frequency. Could that have been the key all along? I recalled the teachings mentioning the Kundalini, a dormant spiritual energy at the base of the spine. Eagerly, I began researching more about it, and to my surprise, I found that the Kundalini energy is often said to awaken during deep meditation or even in dreams. And so is the vagus nerve. It is most activated when it is the most relaxed. Armed with this new insight, I decided to continue listening to the frequency while falling asleep. What unfolded next was nothing short of a miracle. First, I connected with a local entrepreneur at a coffee shop who proposed we launch a on-demand moving startup together. Within a couple of weeks, I was the co-founder of an emerging tech company. But the real surprise came with a call from my wife. She'd been reconsidering our breakup and wanted to give us another chance. And all this while she had no idea about the windfall that had come my way. This newfound abundance felt surreal. But would it work for others? So I asked my friend, Alex, to give it a shot. Alex, a quiet, introverted artist, had been struggling to make ends meet and had never really had a serious relationship. Within a few weeks, Alex found not just a series of promising art commissions, but also a loving, supportive partner. As more and more people I shared the audio with started to experience unprecedented abundance in their lives, I realized I was onto something. But what baffled me was why would anyone want to hide such a potent power? Sharing it with everyone could transform lives and perhaps even humanity itself. That's when I decided to take a leap of faith, to share this secret with the world. And today, it gives me immense pleasure to present you with the Celestial Prosperity Code. It's the only audio frequency that helps stimulate the primordial method of aligning with the universe's natural abundance wave with ease. Unlike the overhyped programs peddled by so-called get-rich-quick gurus, the Celestial Prosperity Code is a tested method that traces its origins back to ancient times, a technique known only to the wise and potent masters, the ancient Navanaths. The beauty of the Celestial Prosperity Code lies in its ease of use. It's a proven frequency that gives you the opportunity to escape the grueling rat race created by the world's top 1% to keep all of us trapped. Because, let's face it, the current system is nothing more than a futile financial chase that offers no escape. It's practically impossible for everyday folk like you and me to get out of this rut. It's reality that the elite have intentionally held over our eyes for centuries. But today, that reality changes for you. With the Celestial Prosperity Code, you're tapping into a power that's already within you. And why wouldn't you? The Celestial Prosperity Code has already transformed countless lives. Regular people, just like you. Take, for instance, Catherine from Phoenix, Arizona shared with us, the Celestial Prosperity Code absolutely turned my life around. For years, I had nothing exciting to update my friends and family about. It was mostly work, drama at work, sleep, survive, repeat. I used to work shifts at McDonald's, but now, exploring the world. It's more than I could ever have imagined. It's truly a miracle worker. From Burlington, Vermont, Emily says, thanks to the Celestial Prosperity Code, I felt alive for the first time in a very long time. I was going through the motions for decades, searching for an answer. When I came across Celestial Prosperity Code after my friend shared it with me, I was skeptical but decided to give it a shot. Since then, I feel blessed almost every day, like the universe truly has my back. I'm now truly living and loving every moment. I wish I knew about this sooner. Tom from Sacramento. See, I had this to say. At first, I was doubtful. I've seen a lot of bogus stuff about the law of attraction out there. But when my friend emailed me about Celestial Prosperity Code, something about it felt different, so I gave it a chance. Now, I've escaped the rat race and am traveling with family across Europe next month. I wished everyone could experience this. So, how do you use the Celestial Prosperity Code? It's easy. Before you head to bed, play the special audio frequency. It will be in your exclusive members area. Bear in mind, your vagus nerve, akin to the Kundalini, is most active at night. Just go to sleep. The harmonious sound waves from the audio tracks will stimulate your vagus nerve. This stimulation will align your chakras, leading to an awakening of your true abundant self. Which means you'll start seeing an inflow of abundance in your life, without going through years of meditation and chanting. But be warned, not everyone is pleased about this release. There are forces at work that want to keep this potent secret under wraps. They've gone to lengths such as hiring cybercriminals to take this website down. The one want to maintain their control over the world's wealth. If you think you might want to unlock the power of the Celestial Prosperity Code, I urge you to secure your copy today while this website is still running. The reality is, I don't know how long I'll be able to hold them at bay. So, here's something very personal I want to share with you. This is my life's mission. Right now, I want everyone to experience the Celestial Prosperity Code. Why? Because I know what it feels like to face tough days. Remembering those mornings filled with stress makes me even more committed to my purpose. Life doesn't have to be that way. Life is so much brighter when everyone has what they need and are blessed every day. I want to change lives, starting with yours. I'm not doing this for money. It's my passion. It's what drives me every day. Because of the Celestial Prosperity Code, money worries are behind me. Now, I think about the change I can make in the world. Which is why today, I have an amazing offer for you that you can refuse. Now, you could ignore everything you discovered about this video and pretend it doesn't exist. You might be tempted to go invest your money into crypto, but it's risky. Many have lost their shirts and life savings there. Or follow what your boss said, go back to school. But often, it's not worth the cost and stress these days. For a meager raise at work. Or you could start a business. But 95% of businesses fail. Plus, you probably need to get a six-figure loan to start one. Instead, think about the Celestial Prosperity Code. While some said I should charge $10,000 for this groundbreaking discovery, I'm not here to get rich. I am just asking to cover some basic costs, high-quality track creation, website maintenance, and customer support. Which is why you'll get the Celestial Prosperity Code when you contribute just $39 today. Right now, you have the power in your hands to alter your life. All you have to do is click the button below this video. After you click the button, you will go to my safe, secure checkout page. Just fill out your usual info, and you'll get your Celestial Prosperity Code tracks emailed to you in about 10 minutes. But it doesn't end there. I want to over-deliver. And as a thanks, I've added some free bonuses as thank you for your contribution towards my mission today. Free Gift 1, Money Chakra Secrets. When I activated my Kundalini with the help of the sacred audio frequency, I also took the time to know more about the chakras. Because learning more about it can help you amplify the effects at an unbelievable speed and ease. That's why I also want you to have this amazing digital book so you will get the results you need 3x faster. Inside, you will learn how to heal, balance, and amplify each of your 7 chakras in just 20 minutes a day with powerful, no-cost techniques. Become the master of your own financial destiny and gain unbeatable willpower. Activate your third eye chakra to tap into highly sensitive intuition that will attract money-making opportunities your way. Gain personal independence by commanding authority and control in your financial life. Free Gift 2, The Modern Millionaire. After my success with the Celestial Prosperity Code, I was curious about the secret traits of the wealthy and how they maintain their wealth. I scoured the internet and asked countless affluent individuals from different backgrounds, and I found out that there are simple financial success strategies that are easy to understand regardless of your background, education, and income level. The secrets of the late Steve Jobs, Colonel Sanders, Jack Ma, and Elon Musk that made themselves stand out from others are in this book, and it's yours for free. Free Gift 3: Connecting to Your Inner Wisdom with Kundalini Meditation. Kundalini energy is at the heart of making you in tune with the abundance waves of the universe. So I sought out experts to understand more about this topic. For background, Kundalini meditation is an ancient practice that helps to connect you to your inner wisdom, bringing you into better harmony with yourself and the world. This jam-packed series of training videos are a comprehensive introduction to the power of meditation in your life and amplify your attractions. These videos will take you on a journey through mindfulness meditation and how it can work for you, active meditation with Kundalini Yoga, the benefits of transcendental meditation, the practice of Zen meditation, tips and tricks for the meditation beginners. The power of meditation lies in its ability to bring the 7 sacred chakras, the energy centers of your body, into alignment with each other. When the chakras are in harmony, the expansive power of Kundalini becomes awakened and available to you. This will not only introduce you to the practice of meditation, but also provide step-by-step guidance on how to use it to connect to your inner wisdom and activate your Kundalini energy. It will help you to create a harmonious balance and flow of energy in your life and bring you into alignment with the cosmos and all of its abundance. All these 3 bonus gifts are included for free when you pitch in to get Celestial Prosperity Code today. That's easily over $400 worth of transformative sound waves and wisdom, all for just $39. But there's more. I want to make your decision today as no-brainer as possible when you get Celestial Prosperity Code today. You're backed by our 365-day 100% money-back guarantee. Here's the deal. Click the button below to get access to Celestial Prosperity Code. Upon confirmation, you'll receive these specially crafted sound waves in your email. I recommend listening to them nightly for a month. Just let them play as you drift into sleep. I believe that within this period, you'll start noticing changes. It transformed me and many others. These tracks, in essence, help tune you into the universe's abundance wave, reinvigorating your energy centers and setting you on a path of prosperity. But if you don't feel these benefits, just reach out to our support team. We'll return your money in full immediately. No questions asked. No hassles. This lets you try Celestial Prosperity Code for a full year before deciding if it's right for you. So you don't have to say yes today. You only have to say maybe. I am taking all the risk on my side. So click the button below to start seeing shifts right now. Right now, you have 2 choices. 1. Ignore everything you discovered in this video. Pretend that it doesn't exist and continue what you've been doing. But you and I both know that where that leads more of the same. Truth is, if we do nothing, nothing changes. You could choose to wait until you hit rock bottom like I did before you do anything different. Or 2. Embrace a fresh start with the Celestial Prosperity Code and alter the course of your life forever. Knowing this option exists, can you really choose the former? Your move. Don't let another day slip by. Click the button below. I can't promise how long this offer, or even this site, will last. So act today by clicking the button below. Your future self will look back at this moment and be grateful you did. Try the Celestial Prosperity Code today. Still here? I get it. We've talked about a lot in this video, and you might have some questions. So, I'll go ahead and address some of the most frequently asked questions we receive about the Celestial Prosperity Code. Frequently asked questions. I've tried other attracting wealth programs rooted in the law of attraction. They didn't work. So what sets this one apart? This isn't about the law of attraction. This is about a scientifically backed method that uses sound waves to harmonize your body's energy centers, involving Kundalini, chakras, and the vagus nerve. Ultimately, this isn't new. It's an ancient practice that science is only now validating. How is my personal information safeguarded? We've engaged top-notch encryption experts to secure your information. Many of them are even associated with the NSA. They employ 256-bit encryption technologies with secure sockets layer, SSL, ensuring your information is completely protected with the best technology available. How does the guarantee work? By choosing the Celestial Prosperity Code today, you're taking zero risks. We're giving you a full year to see if you're pleased with the results. If at any point within the next 365 days you feel your life hasn't improved significantly, just reach out to our support team, and we'll refund 100% of your contribution immediately. When can I expect results? Everyone is unique, so the timeline varies. Some have noticed significant changes on the very first day, while others may take a bit longer to fully align with the universe's abundance wave. I recommend using it daily for a full month first, before worrying about anything. Try the Celestial Prosperity Code today.